Yeah. And anything, if somebody had told me before then that nah, not to happen, I'll be confident that anything can happen, I'll be confident. Like what? I'm not even trying to underplay my confidence. I was too sure. I'm not sure. But let me be honest, the way it switched, I don't know. It was a switch. Yeah, like just change over. And then we got to 8. Yeah.
What's 8?
Yeah.
What? Smooching and grabbing.
Yeah. Yeah, but there was no 16 and there was no nudes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's for digital.
Digital class.
Sorry, I came late. Digital class. Yeah. So I think for me it was just how, number one, I was very confident before that time. And sometimes you think you're strong. You know, Bible says you are able to intentionally put yourself in those situations, and you are able to still resist and to continue to put yourself in those type of situations. Yeah. Because one day and one day. Yeah. Yeah, I did not. I was very confident before that time and the switch. Yeah. And some years later, the person was crying. Yeah, because he got to like 10. And he did not believe it. He did not. He did not. I mean, and this person
was a bro in the Lord.
Was a bro in the Lord.
It's a pain now.
Yeah, it was extremely painful for him. Yeah.
Sorry, the activity or the
no. Post.
Okay, the post clarity.
The post clarity. Yeah.
Post-mortem.
Yeah. So I think like it's just you think you can handle it, but you just can't.
Were you in a relationship at the time?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Which makes it more...
It's very instructive, and I think that we can begin to mine. I do not know whether the ladies are trying to form, they are concerned that their husband might be in Kings and be like, what is she later? That means you've done it finished. But I'd like to hear from ladies as well. Okay. I mean, but thank you so much, Amir, for that. Let's talk a little bit about it, because sometimes you're not even in a relationship. Right? So for you guys, we're not in a relationship, but somehow it started with like conversations over the phone or something.
Yeah.
Within how many months did you move from hello to
You know the funny thing about the conversation, it was not like what you said. There was nothing sexual. There was at all. There was nothing. That's why I said it was a switch for me. There was nothing like that.
So when the first time it happened, I'm trying to, because typically it's like
yes.
So how did it happen? Like, no. Because we need to study some things the devil does.
Yeah.
Lest we're taken unawares. Yes. Because people would say to you that it's because you've been sleeping over in the person's house, or because people have been hugging too much, or because anything. But this one, you guys didn't even have like conversations or suggestive
at all.
Oh, wow.
At all. Of course, crush was high.
Crush.
Yeah. That was
okay.
There.
So because you had the crush, you now had the fantasy.
Yeah. And that's fantastic. Yeah. Yes, I would say definitely the crush was high.
Mutually or just
mutually.
How did you know that?
I know. No, I know.
How?
How did I know she had a crush on me, or that I had a crush on her?
Both ways.
No, for me to her, that one was normal. Like, it's me, so I already...
Some people.
No, of course. That was not like my first crush, so I know what it means when Remy is in the crush zone.
I love that.
Okay. Yeah, and then I knew she was as well.
So how did you know? Because we need to...
And all, because I tried to ensure that that thing did not happen again. So it's the reason why sometimes... when some conversation just goes some way, I just cut it. Yeah. Or when some physical, contact goes some way, I cut it, yeah, because I already know where this can lead to. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. In fact, there was one that was, no, not that one. Not that one. What I'm trying to say is because Pastor Dami is trying to understand the learning there, like what are the data points so you can learn from them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that all of you see, you were not here when I said earlier about the Bible says the heart of man is deceitfully wicked, desperately wicked. No man can know it. That you cannot even know the depths of your own heart, except sometimes you look through the lens of somebody else's investigation. So there's sometimes you're inside something, you feel like nothing is wrong, but two of your friends, they can already see that guy or girl, something. So you're right. Let's know what the anchor points or data points are so that you have those inbuilt triggers and maybe security systems that just, go off at
so
times.
I'll mention maybe 2 or 3. But please, when I mention them, you might feel like that one cannot affect me.
Yeah.
I understand because the truth there is after that experience, some of those data points happened again and it did not affect me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to justify that since it cannot work between me and this girl, let me now sleep on her body. Because you can go that far. The truth there is this: you can sleep on her body and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
But
because
if you keep on going around sleeping on their body, one day on their bodies, no. So definitely there was crush and it was on a high level. We were always speaking every day.
Oh.
And it was not sexual. Absolutely not. In fact, some of the talk, even
that's even worse.
So we were always talking, like it was on another level. Yeah.
How's the day were you talking? AI syncopated programming. Come on. First time ever. Couch Convos.
Okay, so I've crossed 5 before.
Into 6. What is 5? Or you go that way across into. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, and it wasn't with someone. I was in a relationship with this person.
I hope we're learning.
Yeah, so there was that guilt that came. But then, I liked it, so I kept going back.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that anymore, Sha.
Yeah.
I've stopped. I've cut ties with the person.
Okay.
So,
how? Okay, land, please.
you're about to ask a question.
Yes. So, at what point, because you enjoyed it, the body learns to enjoy what we give to it repeatedly. That is how come bitter leaf has become soup. You're not getting what I just said. Bitter leaf is soup, bro. Do you understand? Yeah, I think that I got the weight of that guy's name. No need. But at what point, and then how did you get the moral or emotional energy to be able to reverse? Because driving forward is easier than reversing, even with a physical car. You get it. You don't want to say revise. I'm going to come and drive the car. I cannot revise the car. Right? Especially when you've lost your side mirrors. And many times when you're driving on the highway of lust, you lose your side mirrors. You're not watching anything. It's forward, one direction, right? Except like Google's friends, you're doing back hugs. You can't reverse. And accidents can be imminent. So please just help us for somebody who might be dealing with their own scenario now, because don't forget, oftentimes our past is somebody else's present. In fact, the power of a community is that many times your past is someone's present in the present time in your community. So all of us, we're all smiling and laughing and smiling and laughing. Don't let me look in any direction so my word of knowledge will not pick them out. So how did you hear a message, say an angel? Let me tell you one of the things you might have noticed. I like to be very granular. Have you noticed? Because I've seen that broad strokes don't help many people. Even when they are broad and become so so help us if you can remember, because sometimes you actually get out of stuff without even remembering the process. You just know that you moved.
Okay, so I had friends that were aware of this.
How were they aware? You told them.
Yes, I
So
told them.
guys, ladies always tell.
Oh, and they were guys too. They weren't female friends because they were guys.
Well,
So I
guys, just know, ladies always, they will tell somebody. Is that true? Oh yeah. So just keep that in your database for.
So because they're guys now, they were like telling me from a male perspective, and they're like, Tolu, whatever you want to, you will not get this. Because this guy was in a relationship too. So, and his girlfriend wasn't giving him any of that.
No sugar. I was just giving the guy salt.
So these my male friends were really talking sense to me. They're like, Tolu, are you stupid? Like, I'm telling you from a guy's perspective. Like, we're going to, they were just telling me like, he's just going to use and dump you, blah, blah, blah. Well, thanks to my friends, like they talked a lot of sense into me. Yeah. So the thing was that whenever this thing stopped, we're just friends, but we're crossing boundaries, and it just wasn't fun. And I don't like to lose friends. Like I don't like to lose friends. So it was very difficult for me. Like, okay, we have to not cross this boundary. But then again, I knew that, okay, not crossing this boundary would mean cutting this person off as well. So that was sort of difficult, but, well, I've survived so far.
Wow,
So
that's great. Thank you. Thanks for your openness. Thank you for your vulnerability, and thanks for the learning points. Ladies, please understand this. Men, ladies don't understand, especially because generally, ladies tend to be more emotional and experiential. In other words, a lady is likely going to believe her experience over the logic that is being presented. So if a guy says you're not going to get what you want, the lady does not really believe it, because this guy writes me love poems, this guy kisses me as if my lips are made of honey, and all of that, even calls me honey. Fleshly experiences are totally different for a guy than from a lady. For a guy, he wakes up in the morning ready to do and undo. When his mind is not thinking about his biology, is thinking about it. Guys, is it true? Can I speak? A guy can have an erection without thinking about a sexual image. You don't know. There's no guy here that was tense. You want to do a presentation, your body was standing. You are not thinking about. Don't let me mention names. But do you guys know what I'm saying? Yeah, so an erection is not always proof of lust or desire. There are a lot of chemicals in your body that are doing that. However, a guy who feels that needs to relieve himself. It's like when you want to pee, you use toilet. So except you know holding techniques or withholding techniques, you are going to look for an outlet. And if there is a lady, why are you guys blushing? Yeah, what? You are concurring, Abby. Yeah. So, if there is a free girl around the place, a girl from Sierra Leone, Freetown precisely. If there's a free girl around, then that person becomes a relief center. Do you see? So for the guy, it's not any kind of intimate experience. It's just fun, relief. You are helping me, and guys need helpers. Do you guys want to? Am I saying the truth? Yeah. So guys need help. A lot of guys need help, and more ladies need to know how to help guys, right? So a lady doesn't say it like that. A guy says it like that. You're here. I like you. I'm not abusing you. Yeah, you're available. We like each other. You like me. You're helping me out. So, content, and you consent. Yeah. So, but if that guy has a wife or has a boyfriend or a committed relationship, you can do all the positions in the world. Swing from the chandelier, even do Tarzan, like use zip line. If he leaves his wife or his girlfriend, it's not because of that. Except you jazz him. Yeah, because many guys already experienced many women before they said yes to one. So what made them say yes to that one is bigger than sex. It's the quietness for me. I have to say it again. Heavy stuff, but people don't teach this, right? And the lady thinks, oh, it's because I'm not doing enough. So guess what she'll do? She'll go and watch YouTube. How to rock it. How to twist it. How to... It says no YouTube. Oh, he now wants to tell us where it is. Right? So the lady thinks I'm not doing enough because the lady is experiential. So she wants to do more. So she thinks it's because my legs are not as straight as Kitty's leg. Because I'm not Manchester or Arsenal and all of that. Or Liverpool. My liver is not enough in the pool. Right? And some people might be Wharton. They have Wharton. Yeah. Because of this that Okay. Please, if you're online, you have a question, send it because we need to pivot. So the lady thinks I need to do more. I need to try a different style, different time of the day, different temperature of the sun. And by the way, if you have a repeated pattern of sexuality in your relationship, the respect quotient drops. Yeah. Especially from the guy's perspective, because a guy wants a special girl, just the same way a girl wants a special guy. However, a girl who believes, oh, this guy has every other thing I want, right, and is doing me right, many, not all, will most likely overlook that more than a guy who says, this girl has everything I want and is doing it, because the guy is going to think, she's just like them. Guys, am I talking? Audit. All right, let's have the question. Yes, ma'am.
Give her the mic, please.
I'm happy that Molly's talking. Thank you for that. It's important.
Okay, like a lot of people are talking about the flings they had outside a relationship. What happens when you're actually in a relationship and, like, of course, you are physically attracted to this person? Because I had a friend that called me. I'm not in a relationship, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not. But I have a friend that called me like sometimes last month, and we are like both, and she just got into a relationship. She hasn't been in a relationship all her life, so this is like her first relationship. She just got into a relationship, and she said the one time she went to spend time with her boyfriend, they are both. She said she was so sure of herself that nothing can happen. They slept in different rooms, and everything went fine. But like the second time, she now sure. Like so stuff happened, and the guy was looking at her like, but how? Like, do you get? Like, so we are not talking about. I mean, we are in a relationship together. Of course, we are physically attracted to each other. Like, how well do you handle that? I think it's one phase I'm not even ready to face. That's just the truth. Yeah. Because someone like me, I like physical touch. Like, it's one of my love languages. Like, so how do you really handle?
I wanted to talk about it. So, I think it was a Sunday. I'm not too sure. That was when we're having like Kings in Lekki in the evenings. So the idea was after church, before I go to church, I would stop by, talk about how I was feeling, and then go to church and maybe pray it out and everything. But obviously, like, things didn't pan out that way. So in that situation, I think he reached like maybe like a 4 or something, and I think I now started to beat myself down, because when pre-Christ, it's been a long time since I've had that experience. So it's now happening. I felt very open, very, very condemnation started to kick in. And I think I remember one time that it happened, and I was really, really upset about what was there. So I don't know why that happened. Actually, no, let me not say I don't know why that happened. It's just it's an unfortunate thing that it happened, right? And I felt very bad about it. I felt like, oh my God, like, this guy will not respect me again. Like, gosh, after everything I've done. And I think I went to church and I was frowning my face so bad. And the thing about me is, like, if I cheat in an exam, I will go and tell my teacher that I cheated. Yeah. Like, I'm an open book. Like, if I'm struggling with anything, like, I always tell anybody. So I think that Sunday I was really, really uncomfortable. I went to church. I know Peter was like, why are you not smiling? You said it's during the sermon. Like, why are you not smiling? I was just like, I'm okay and everything. And then you now called me like, oh, let's talk. And I think I told you. And I was like, how far? And I think we talked about it and everything. And it was very interesting, because the message that we're preaching that day, we were talking about how there's some women, or there's some relationships where the devil will try to make a woman, in quote, let's say, experience something, and then because of that, she will shut herself down and then deprive her husband or her partner of certain things. So because of that, I now stopped communicating with my partner, just even talking about how I even felt. I now started to, in quotes, demonize him for that experience, because I felt like if you're not there, and if not for you, this will not have happened, right? So it now really affected our relationship. So I don't even know whether it was even the condemnation that I was dealing with, or just the understanding of it. Like, I just felt very dirty. But then when you now preach that sermon, and it kind of like brought context and clarity for me, that those experiences are just sometimes the devil's way of like just robbing you of certain things. So I think we now actually had a conversation. We actually sat down and we spoke about it, and we kind of like reaffirmed our boundaries. And I told him that I told him that I have told my pastor about this, and I will actually I told another of my friend as well. And I don't think I have gone to his house for that long. There are just some boundaries that are there. And it's hard on the, in quotes, relationship, but I've seen how it has helped us even grow individually as well. So even when I find myself in certain situations, I'm able to like stop myself, because like she said, this is somebody that you are in a relationship with, meaning that you are definitely attracted to the person. In fact, sometimes you think, you are fine that you were last week, what's happening? But in those times, I just remember all those boundaries. And also, I think the fact that when things happen, I always tell people about it. That also helps me, because I don't go pity him. I think it won't cause like an issue. Like, I also want to know that he's talking to somebody about it as well, because even though we were godly, you know how you can be godly, right? And you claim that you're in a godly relationship, but you are in a, in quotes, secret relationship. So me personally, I'm a private person, so you would definitely not know who I'm dating, but we now made a demarcation between private and secret. Private is where there are people that are in your space that need to know, and then secret is when you are hiding it from somebody.
That's good.
So we now made that demarcation that this is not a secret relationship, it's a private relationship. So the people that need to know, and we're accountable to those people. So I actually told him, like, if you're not going to be accountable to your own pastor or your own church or anything, like, it will affect my relationship with you, because I want somebody that is accountable to somebody. So those things now started to happen, and then I can see how it has helped us as well, even just in our own personal growth as well. There are things, and also being honest as well. So before, it's kind of weird, but sometimes I would, if I was supposed to do something or go somewhere, and I know how I'm feeling, I'm honest to say, today I'm feeling one kind. I feel like if I see you, I'm not too sure how it would be. And even though it might seem uncomfortable, in quotes, I feel like now we now understand as well. And he respects that, and I also respect that as well. So because, sometimes somebody might be in quotes horny, but you are not, and you're thinking, the person should calm down, but that person is also God's child as well.
Yep.
And I think that God also reminded me is that this human being that, in quotes, you're seeing is someone that I love as well.
Yes.
So the way God cares about their purity is the way I should also care about their purity as well. So that's kind of like how I've been able to handle that as well.
This is very, very good. Let's celebrate Gogo for that. 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 I will tell you one of the things that will help in a relationship. It helped myself and PLT when we're dating and then courting. You need to have those conversations early, before, as you're about, well, once you know the person is God's child and there's a measure of friendship. This month is very significant because we're dealing with bonding, dating, sex, and marriage. So listen out for the teachings. They're going to be so helpful and practical. But one of the things is conversations. So for people like Tumi who might have concerns about, what's the thing called? Your tendencies or your proclivities. So one of my love languages too is physical touch, right? That's one of my love languages too. But what you do is you have a conversation with the person. So this timeline, this number line is very important too. How many of us think it's important? So now you have a guide to be measuring. Where am I? Where does it look like I'm about to go? Why should I not go there? You need to answer those questions by yourself so that it's not a Sunday school. Don't kiss a boy! Don't touch it! It's because you cannot, the law or commandments don't have the capacity to cause you to live up to the standards of God. In fact, the reason the commandments were given was to show the utter helplessness of man and his inability to live like God without the grace of God. So the law was a teacher, and it was to teach us that we needed grace. Okay? So we had those conversations, and then we spelled it very clearly. And so one of the things that was off limits was kissing. Now I'm very, 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 very sure, with the benefit of hindsight, with the knowledge of hindsight or consideration of hindsight, if we did not have that conversation, my lips would have been red or hers would have been pink before we got married, because it would have kissed off layers. Some people who have pink lips now, that's not what they were born with. That was not the original color. It's years and years of lip service. Yeah, the only service some people attend is lip service. So, and then the personal priests in the congregation of carnality, right? They would have lip sync. The lips will sync. So I have those conversations, and when you have those conversations, don't just have them from, I love what Gogo said, that person is God's child as well. So it's not a case of, the way I'm looking at you, you are the seductress coming to attack my life. Right? No. It's from, okay, God's child, see, let's not lie, our bodies love there's something I wrote, I write different things at different times. So I wrote this thing, fair enough, today, 11 o'clock, 11 something. I said, when your body sees another body like no other body, and there's no body to stop your body from wanting that body, you are likely to engage that body in a way that will create other bodies. And then, if you think the person is Thames, you might become like Wizkid. And discover the essence until there's no longer O2, because who they breathe. Some people didn't get it. O2 is oxygen. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't even get that. So I think we should pivot. So here's the deal. Have those conversations. But I'll also advise that if I'm happy about our dating timeline and I went to the UK 3 years into our dating experience, and so for 2 years we're not really together like that. So the tendencies were, and then got married. But if I could advise somebody, I'll be like, anything that's getting longer than 2.5 years, long. Because by that time, especially if you start dating when you're over 23, if you're, just coming out of your chewing gum experience as a teenager and all of that, that one, 21, yeah. You might never know what you're doing, especially in Nigeria, where there are even 40-year-olds that are not clear on what life is about. So, let me tell you the worst thing about your body. You go everywhere with it. Won't it be amazing if you unfold it inside wardrobe? Let's leave it. But this one, you travel, you're with it. You go for a show, you're with it. You go to church, you're with it. Yeah. So you want to tip the scales in your own favor. Don't give yourself undue tension. Right. More comments because we need to pivot. Question, please. Yeah.
So, praise God.
Hallelujah.
My question is, I don't know, it's a little bit complicated. Is it that all this teaching about purity, is this not supposed to be a godly relationship?
Yeah.
It got to, I feel like that's all my life experiences. So it got to a point I actually stopped dating church brothers.
Yeah.
If a brother is going to church too much, I can't date him. Because they've made me lose trust in them. So I would rather, be with someone who doesn't do church.
Yeah.
But he's godly. He may be going to church once in a while. That's like my last 2 relationships. They don't go to church. So when they want to cross a boundary, I understand that they've not listened to preaching. So I know that, this. But I feel like teachings are only always centered around ladies. How ladies should, or maybe it's that brothers don't listen.
It's a good question, and it's a very...
brothers don't concur, because as for me, in fact, right now, I feel like I just want to do long-distance relationships, so that... Because we cannot keep offending God against...
Yeah, so this is good. Very, very important, and I'm not even sure we have enough time to sort it, because I get DMs from ladies about this issue. They'll be like, every guy I've been in a relationship with wants to eat the cookie, and I'm not a baker.
I'm surprised when he was talking the other time and he was saying that he was very conscious. I'm like, are you?
Oh, no, there are.
Really?
And again, never allow, you have a story, right? Never allow the proliferation of the other kind of men make you feel like there are no men like Remy. There are many. Men like Remy! Men like I, right? No, but men like this, there are. But there seems to be an excess of men who are not. So, how do I help you? Let me start with this. Why should you not succumb to the men?
Why should I not? Because I don't want to.
One.
Because, my body is the temple of God, blah, blah, blah.
Why are you laughing about that?
Don't want to. So I feel like it's not right. And they don't have a right to my body, so...
It's all right. We're going to start from the beginning, because there's a reason that this issue, which I also think is one of the missing components in our teachings about purity. When I say I mean global church. The why issue. Why do you not want to succumb?
I've said it now.
And say it again. Except the reasons
Because
have
it's
changed.
not right. It's not in the Bible now.
So what's in the Bible? What's in the Bible that says it's not right?
do not defile the bed, blah, blah, blah. So, do not defile the bed. There are many verses.
So that speak against fornication and adultery.
Yeah, fornication.
All right. So why do you obey it?
Because I should obey it. Because I know the word.
Who told you
I
you should
live
obey
by
it?
the word. Who told me I should obey it? I mean, I don't know how to answer that question, but yeah, I should obey it.
You should. Why?
Because that is what is right.
Why is it right?
Oh no.
You see how we go. You see how we get stuck. You see how we get stuck because you need to understand something about the devil. The devil knows that the person who has the biggest argument in court wins the case, not the innocent person. So almost all your temptations that you lose are argument based. You talk, that's why as you mature as a believer, you talk yourself out of arguments. Some of your biggest spiritual issues are arguments in your head. Why should you give your 10%? Why should you pray? Why should you abstain? If you don't have a superior argument, you will always fall. This is very important. It is very important. You are not as irrational as you think. So that guy whose body is standing like Rock of Gibraltar and, upright, like a NEPA pool, right, with all the currents pouring through. I want to do it, but I have HIV. All of a sudden, bow down and worship him. That which was highly lifted lies prostrate before the king. What has happened is superior argument, an argument that is superior to the pressure of hormones. Now, the reason I'm asking you why is you're giving me all those reasons because it's my body. Well, their own body is not your body. Their own body wants to do it. Because in the Bible, well, even you that you said is in the Bible, you didn't, do you understand? I'm not, no, can we talk? These are very solid. You quoting section 3 of the Constitution, and you say it's inside Nigerian Constitution, police, you cannot collect my this, police can, hold it!
But we don't say that too, like when we are on that level. Say like number 4 or what those your numbers? When we're on that level, we don't
it's
say...
not our numbers, it's our... We all formulate...
So, for me now, I will not say it's in the Bible-ish.
I know. It's not...
Like,
no.
Don't go there.
See, it's not for him. It's for your subconscious mind. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, oh, tell me about it. Lekoba. Alakoba. That's what Paul didn't say, hang around fornication. He said flee, because your brain is not thinking. But he said, I can give one instruction. Flee is short enough for you to remember. F-L-E-E. Ferege. Do you understand? You want to say something? Or you're agreeing?
I'm agreeing, but I wanted to actually say something.
All right. So he's not coming from that paradigm. You're coming from a paradigm that is contradistinct to his paradigm. But his paradigm is as real to him as your convictions are to you until he overrides. Because again, it's argument. So for many ladies that are giving, it's not the first day the guy asks for. The guy is building his case. Why? Because even in court, there's first hearing, there's second hearing, the third hearing. And faith comes by what? Hearing and hearing. So the guy asks the first time, like, no, I'm a defendant. Then he brings exhibits A, B, C, D. Then you will now be the one moving from E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, Z. The guy will now be shocked that will not succumb. God always leaves witnesses. Number 2, to prayerfully consider is your decision-making mechanism. Especially if you've attracted a certain kind of men, there's something in you. So you bring them into your space. It could be a disposition, it could be a dress sense, it could be demeanor, it could be anything, right? Or it could just be natural proclivity that has nothing to do with your conscious choice. So the way some people would be like, I like men that smell like cigarettes. Or I like men, yes, no. I like men that have playboy swag. That's your bizarre nature speaking. You don't know why. You can't even trace it. It's just like some guys, they like ladies that have certain body types or certain skin tones or that speak fast. You'll be surprised. Somebody didn't get married for a long time. I asked him what he's always particular about people's toes. And he hasn't met the lady that has, I'm telling you, gay guy. Yes, I said, oh, guy.
He's not even ready.
No, it's not meant. It's not meant. That's what that's what he likes. Right. So that's number 2. And number 3 is this. The places we meet people. When I say places, either physical. I mean, I read in one white paper that if you go to the club, you're going to meet players. You all didn't get that? Football club, players. Yeah. And many of those players was called a heart trick. Do you see? So there's the places in terms of geographical location, but there are also places in terms of where they are in life or where they are on their journey. The interesting thing is that most of us are comfortable with people that are either on our level or below us. Because we're created for dominion. So we want to manifest our power even in social dynamics without knowing. So it takes a counter decision for you to look out for someone who's stronger than you. And for you to say, I dare to vibe. Now, I'm not talking about being high-minded, where you're like, I'll marry the president of Kuwait. It's possible, but you cuckoo, you feel it. But where do you meet people in life? And so before you commit, you need to know where they are at, not where they are at in their feelings about you. Where are they in their walk with God? Where are they in their disposition? One of the major things that a lot of ladies need to normalize is asking people, tell me your salvation story.
Come on now.
If a guy cannot tell you their salvation story, they're most likely not saved. They've just blended into a Christian. A salvation story is going to have some dates. They might not know the day going on, but they can tell you what was happening in the church or the community or the conference or whatever, or an encounter alone. Everybody's out. You remember the day you finally got serious with God. So don't just say he's been going to church. What are your thoughts about? Let's ask the right questions. Not where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's good, but that's not the most important. Anybody can form. If you have the gift of the gab like me, you can paint pictures that you've never ever thought. If you're spontaneous like me, you can create a script in the moment. Like, it is sorrow. Right? But ask them vital questions. What are your thoughts about the Holy Spirit? Do you actually believe in speaking in tongues? And some of those things. Right. The other things that we focus on, like what car do you plan to buy in 2023? Banana Island. Do you plan to have a plantation? They're good, but they are secondary. The core is, I am a lion. Are you a lion or a dog? After we've ascertained that we're both lions, then we can talk about how well do you need to polish your talons? Which jungle do you plan to hunt in? Otherwise, you have a well-packaged dog that when you want to puppy love. I go for it.
I think everybody has said everything, and I feel like you've also, with the short time, been able to put everything together. So, God, everything is just so interesting. Sometimes, just like what you said, right? The question of, it's easier for the woman to, of course, we're playing to a script. I think that in the world, we're playing to a script. So it's what script are we playing to, right? So the lady has been told that she has to keep herself because when she wants to marry, she has more value and all those things. And so essentially, you find that sometimes the women are not doing that because they believe what they are doing is a sense of pride. It's from a prideful place, right? That aside, but just so that, I'm conquering, like, everybody is trying to get me, but like, can't get me, but like, I'm going to, strip tease or tease you or whatever, but like, I'm not going to get me because, there's that element of pride sometimes.
Yeah.
For the guys, obviously, like you said, you've tied everything down for the guys. As far as, in my experience, right? Because I remember when I had my, I like to call it the God quick moment. I was celibate for a whole year. My chest. I mean, in fact, I was insulated. So there was no room for, it was from one prayer meeting to one thing. It was just, I was on that tangent, right? And then, of course, when I sort of like slipped, because now we need to have context, because before Christ, it was, everybody
Landslide.
was, sorry, I'm not taking your words. Have you trademarked it? So pre-Christ, it was a you just have to conquer everything along your way. Yeah, it's not, nobody is really safe. Anybody can get it. It's just, it wasn't really, you're not thinking about it. Everybody was for the killing, that kind of thing. So, if you saw no agree, go move to the next one, that kind of thing. But after that, I realized it wasn't necessary, right? It was not really important. Of course, my family, the relationship I had with my dad, a lot of that relationship had to do with, that was how we bonded. I saw which girl are you talking to now? I don't want this babe, like that kind of thing. It was just easy, right? And then what I didn't even say was that my dad now gave his life to Christ and now became the bad one. Do you understand? It was not like, all these girls.
Your dad.
Yeah, he's like, So first, we were here together, but you've left me. So now I'm the bad person, And, he's like, Ayo, I drove my car. I can smell cigarettes. Why are you smoking in my car? But Dad, we just smoked in your car like last year together. Like, what's the issue? Like...
You guys don't know how that feels, though.
And I really cherish that relationship because my dad was always away.
You just
bond. That's what we bond. Do you understand? Like, so now, post that, I now went on a, so I now met this. I had a friend. Obviously, she was Christian and whatnot. Important, right? And then I also wanted to talk about how. So for me, I knew. What was good for you, and you want to keep that one. So. You remember I really liked her boundaries from the get-go. Because I couldn't even understand it. Like, I remember, I think I hugged her. So, at that point, I could have left it and said,